Just today, I believe it was, that Prime Minister Netanyahu made a statement about America not giving the arms to Israel to fight. And I think most Americans understand Hamas and Hezbollah are not just Israel's enemies. They are our enemies. They're the world's enemies. And that they are funded by Iran. Everyone knows that. 95% of the funds that go to Hamas, 98% that go to Hezbollah, and Hezbollah is getting ready. And Hezbollah is much more sophisticated in their ability to fight Israel. And now America has canceled their meeting with Netanyahu. They said they're not going to meet with him. When President Trump put the sanctions on Iran, we were that close to the Ayatollah being thrown out because Iran was being bankrupt. Why would the Biden administration release the funds, remove the sanctions to a country that's not only supporting terrorism against Israel around the world, but is shouting death to America? On October 8th, in the parliament of Iran, they weren't shouting death to Israel, they were shouting death to America. Why doesn't this present administration stand with Israel right now?
Sometimes, Larry, the simplest answer is the most accurate. Stupidity.
Yeah.
Absolute, complete
Good night,
stupidity.
everybody.
And I will say that a substantial percentage of the Democratic Party is anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
You've got the squad, people like Ilhan Omar and Presley and Tlaib. They are simply anti-Semitic. I believe that the Obama administration was very hostile to Israel. One official in the Obama administration referred to Bibi Netanyahu as chicken bleep. And it got public. And it got public because Obama wanted it to become public. There's been tremendous hostility towards Israel because of a false belief that the poor Palestinians have been subordinated by the Israelis. The Israelis are essentially running an apartheid state, and that they only kind of became there because of World War II, as opposed to having a 3,000-year connection to the land. There's never been a country called Palestine. There's never been a ruler that ruled Palestine. It's all BS, but because American kids are so ill-informed, they really believe that Israel just kind of came in there after World War II. And why should the poor Palestinians suffer because of what happened in Europe? That's what they believe. I just saw a film that Obama and Michelle produced called Rustin. Have you seen it? Anybody seen it?
Yeah.
About Bayard Rustin. Bayard Rustin was a civil rights activist. He was a lieutenant of MLK, and he is the architect behind the March on Washington that culminated into the 1963 I Have a Dream speech. It was Bayard Rustin's brainchild to put all this together. And this movie was about him. He's openly gay, and talked about how that kind of compromised what he was trying to do. It was really an interesting movie. What's more interesting to me is that the movie did not at all talk about Bayard Rustin's beliefs as they would impact the Democratic Party today. He died in 1987, I think it was. The Democratic Party is all about DEI, affirmative action, underrepresentation, hostility to Israel. Even though he was black and gay, he opposed race-based preferences. He said the fact that a business has underrepresentation does not in and of itself mean discrimination. Regarding reparations, he called reparations preposterous, his word, not mine. And he said, my great-grandfather may have picked cotton, and maybe somebody owed something to him, but nobody owes me anything. And he was a Zionist, a staunch advocate of Israel. He condemned black anti-Semitism, which is a real problem.
Yeah.
Black anti-Semitism in the black community is about 3 times higher than the rate of anti-Semitism in the non-black Gentile community. And he chastised blacks for their anti-Semitism. So if you look at issue by issue by issue, he's on the opposite side of Obama, even though Obama and Michelle produced this movie. And I just wrote a column about it, and at the end of the column I said, I want to see you guys do that movie. So Israel is the canary in the coal mine. The existential threat to America is not just China, it's radical Islam. And the #1 sponsor of terror in the world is Iran. And sooner or later, Iran needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
and the Obama administration was giving them a pathway to getting a nuclear bomb. Can you imagine a world when the Ayatollahs have a nuclear bomb?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we're up against.